get asked sometimes by those that maybe don't quite understand, that aren't Bears fans, why do you scream, Bears football? What does Bears football even mean? Well, it means a couple of things. It's about running game and playing great defense and playing a style of football that won the organization championships far too infrequently, far too many decades ago. It's certainly about inconsistent mid-quarterback play, conservative-ass play calling at almost all times. I mean, that in and of itself right there screams, Bears football! But what does perhaps above all else, and those things certainly are big pieces of it, it's Bears fans getting giggly tits for and defending mediocrity. It's like they see the mediocrity meat staring them in the face and they can't wait to tickle the taint, stroke the shaft, nibble the knob, and swallow the gravy. Because here we are another year and Bears fans predictably, inevitably, do what lovers of Bears football are going to do, and they're finding themselves rejoicing for and celebrating of mediocrity. They're getting caught up in their goddamn emotions because the bar over the years for them has been set so damn low. And part of the way they can get around that low-ass bar is trying to figure out all types of reasons and fucking defenses and excuses using misleading and convenient stats and data, etc. You know the shit you see on social media all the time. Oh, they're 5-4 in their last 5-4 in their last 9 games. They're starting to figure it out. Watch out. They're coming. Sounds like fucking Abyss. 10. They're coming. When are they coming? Who's coming? Bunch of blue balls as far as I'm concerned. Matt Eberflus has this defense playing well. Does he? Montez Sweat trade was brilliant. If you conveniently only use these recent games, Justin Fields is showing that he can be the guy. Ignore all the other ones. Only use the ones that fit my narrative. We're only a game out of the 7th spot of the playoffs. So you're telling me there's a chance. It's possible. Bear down, bitches. Bears football is coming for the 7th seed. If that isn't fucking Chicago sports in a nutshell, I don't know what the hell is. The hell is wrong with Bears fans? Are you that desperate to continue to justify your support to yourself more than anybody else to yourself for this crappy team that you've allowed yourself to get suckered in by over the years? That you've got to come up with all these mental fucking gymnastics? I mean, come on. Let's pump the brakes a little bit here. Let's take a look at this season. Look at the body of work and see how ridiculous all of the discourse is. Yes, the Bears are 5-4 in their last 9 games. But we're going to forget that the 0-4 start fucking happened? Oh, it's all about the now. Okay, well, let's look at those last 5 wins. Hey, I'm not going to deny. Even though you can say the Lions are playing their worst football of the season, beating the Lions at home is a quality win. No doubt. But go back to their first win of the year on Thursday night. The Commanders stink. Sam Howell was making like his 5th career start. The Raiders had quit on Josh McDaniels at that point, and whoopee, the Bears beat Brian Hoyer. They barely on Thursday night beat the 1-win fucking Panthers with Bryce Young's terrible ass at starting quarterback. And then they barely beat on Monday Night Football a Justin Jefferson-less, Josh Dobbs-led Vikings team where Josh Dobbs was so studly, he just got benched for Nick fucking Mullins. These are the 5 wins you're celebrating. One legit win against a competent NFL starting quarterback in Jared Goff. And then the Commanders playing a young quarterback, former 5th round pick. The Raiders, who had quit on their coach and a fucking backup. The one-win Panthers with a bust of a young quarterback. They barely beat them. And they barely beat the Vikings with a guy that's better equipped to be an aerospace engineer than he is an NFL starting quarterback, all the while without Justin Jefferson, arguably the best wide receiver in the goddamn game. This is the shit that Bears fans are getting excited about. These are 5 wins they fucking had. Oh, bend me the fuck over. Oh, the defense is playing so much better. The Vikings offense just scored 3 points against the Raiders. So if anything, you could argue the Bears defense did worse against the Vikings than the fucking Raiders did. Are we forgetting how the Lions shredded them a few weeks ago and the Bears defense ended up giving up 29 points, including 2 touchdowns in the last 4 minutes of the game? Are we forgetting the fact that on a 4th and 17 late in last Sunday's matchup, Amon-Ra St. Brown was wide fucking open. If he doesn't drop the pass, we might be talking about a whole different story in that 4th quarter. You're really going to count the Panthers? They gave up 24 points to mid-ass Derek Carr and the mid-ass New Orleans Saints offense. Even when you look at the Chargers, they underperformed badly this year against the Bears. So miss me with this defense is starting to play better. For those that are trying to sit there and defend the Bears and justify the Bears and pump them up that try to provide context, let's actually use some real fucking context to put this in its proper perspective. The shit's starting to sound and feel an awful lot like 2020. That's all I'm saying. Well, Justin Fields is starting to show that he's the guy. As Louis Riddick said, flashes get you fired. I mean, that's the perfect way to encapsulate the Justin Fields experience. You got so many people bending over backwards to defend this fucking guy. Like it means everything in their goddamn life, to a point where it's precipitated way past pathetic. Way past pathetic. And if you think Fields can be the guy, okay. I don't agree with you, but that doesn't make you a bad person. But you see online some of the people and the vitriol that they have about Justin Fields has to be the dude. It's not the same as me saying he's not the guy and the Bears need to move on. I don't carry it to that same level. But for those that are sitting there trying to pump him up, he's barely averaging 200 yards passing per game. He's 22nd in the NFL. He missed 4 games this year. Did we forget that? Another season where he had an injury that cost him some time. He lacks arguably the most important ability of an NFL starting quarterback, which is availability. For all that talk about, look at how many touchdowns he has, and if you extrapolate them out, he had 7 games with 1 or 0 touchdown passes, and only 2 games with more than 250 yards passing. This is how pathetically low the standards are for Chicago Bears quarterbacks. Right? Well, he's the most talented quarterback the Bears have ever had. That's not saying much. It's like bragging about winning the Special Olympics. You know what that means. You're still a Special Olympian. Come on. No hate to the Special Olympians of the world. Y'all deserve all the love. Have more courage than most of us, quote, normal people, unquote. But when we talk about, well, you got to build in his running ability into the equation, he only has 2 games of 300 yards or more of total offense. Based on season averages, he's still not in the top 10 in the league in total offense, so miss me with that bullshit. His average of 1.44 touchdown passes a game is highly skewed by 2 games, so they certainly are outliers. The games with 1 or 0 touchdowns are every other game this year from a passing standpoint. That's the medium. That's the mean right there, I should say. Even when you look at that current ratio, he would still finish below 25 touchdown passes and likely finish closer to 20. And if you bake in a few rushing touchdowns, maybe 4 rushing touchdowns, do you really think 25 total touchdowns is Studley? Sure, he will show you a flash here and there. He'll make a great play. Then he takes a really stupid sack, and then he airmails a wide open DJ Moore late in the game. This is not a rookie quarterback we're talking about. We're talking about a guy almost at the end of year 3. And if you have to do these many backflips and these many mental gymnastics in order to justify him being the guy, he's not the guy. You're already answering it for yourself. Stop accepting and settling for mediocrity. Which brings me to Ryan Poles. I think all Bears fans agree that the coaching staff sucks. Although you're starting to see people try to pump up Eberflus a little bit and say, if you just get rid of Getsy. Wait a second. If you think Justin Fields is the guy, then why would you get rid of Getsy? I'm getting.
Put him up. I'm the offensive coordinator. They're never going to see it coming. 1st and 10. Wide receiver screen. 2nd and 12. Halfback dive.
But the coaches suck, and we know that. So I'm not even going to waste time on that. But this whole theme of Ryan Poles is great. Ryan Poles is cooking. He's 8-22 as a fucking general manager. Sure, he made the big trade back like I wanted him to, where a lot of other Bears fans were like, I want him to trade back from 1 to 2 to 4, or just 1 to 4. And I'm like, no, go big or go home, bitches. Listen to me. You get it right. You don't. You end up with more Bears football. And sure, he got TJ Moore in that deal. And he signed guys in free agency like TJ Edwards and Andrew Billings that have helped the defense, right? But he also massively overpaid for Tremaine Edmonds and invested way too much in the linebacker position. Nate Davis has been a fucking fart this year as far as I'm concerned. He stubbornly refused to address center at any point in time when anybody with a fucking brain at all. Even the Ryan Poles defenders said that the center position is a gaping void in the offensive line. They suck and they need to improve there. You still talk about that offensive line. Sure, he drafted Darnell Wright. Sure, he drafted Braxton Jones. But I think inarguably right now the best offensive lineman on that team is one that he didn't draft in Tevin Jenkins. Are we going to forget that he waited too long to trade Roquan Smith and Robert Quinn and got less value for them than he should? 8-22 as a GM, and people are talking about he's cooking. He turned the most cap space in the league and the top overall pick in a division full of questions, in a conference full of questions, into a goddamn 5-8 record. Why are people celebrating this? Well, if the Bears win 8 or 9 games, you got to start saying you're wrong about them. No, until the Bears hoist another Lombardi trophy, and it's because of the team that Ryan Poles built, I'm not wrong about fucking shit. Stop loving mediocrity. Start raising your damn standards, Bears fans. As I can see the disaster scenarios already kicking in. Bears got 4 games left. They're going to fucking win a couple of them. Then they're going to run it back. And then they're going to make the wild card round. Get bounced early. Then everybody gets extensions. And then everybody's talking about 2 years from now what fucking went wrong. And we're looking ahead to the 2027 NFL draft trying to start over again. That's the shit I don't want to go through anymore. Other Bears fans are addicted to it. You got to find a way to get past that addiction. Stop competing for wild card berths. Start focusing on competing for championships. I know that's traditionally not the Chicago way, but Bears fans, let's be big and bold here. And let's bear down in the new year to have a different fucking standard, a higher standard for this organization going forward. That's all I'm saying.